Today I'm going to teach you 10 things you've been doing wrong all this time in Minecraft. When we start our world, the first thing we all do, right, is start looking for a village, but sometimes it can get a little tricky. And what many people don't know is the real usefulness of pumpkins. Because yes, we've all come across pumpkins, but we just don't pay attention to them because we think they're useless. But what many people don't know is that actually the real meaning of pumpkins is that there's a village very close to that area. And not only that, because desert wells and cherry groves mean exactly the same thing, and there's a chance that there might be a surprise structure near them. So next time you start a new world, you'll know how to find a village very easily. From now on, I'm sure you won't ignore this biome again. Surely we've all come across a biome like this, which is called the Badlands, and we've probably thought what an awful biome it is, and honestly, this biome is really ugly. But there are two really good things, and one of them is that the gold spawn rate is excellent, double the normal rate, and this is very useful because what you can do to progress is mine as much gold as possible. And we're going to use that gold to trade with the piglins, to get really good things like enchantments, pieces of armor, and even ender pearls. And the second really good thing is that mine shafts spawn very commonly here, and if you're really lucky, you can also get some really good stuff when you start your world, like a notch apple and enchanted books. So if you spawn near one of these biomes in your new world, make the most of it. I just hope the Spaniards don't find out about this. As everyone already knows, food is one of the most important things, and what we all probably do is cook our food in a furnace. What if I told you you're even doing that wrong? Let's find out. If you can cook food in a furnace, that's fine, but the campfire is better and more efficient. Forget the furnace. Campfires let you cook 4 pieces of meat at once. And the best part is that, unlike the furnace, the campfire doesn't use any coal. The only downside is that you can't smelt ores here, but it's much more efficient to make a campfire than to waste coal at the beginning of your world. Surely at some point in our world we'll have to build our own mansion, and as you probably already know, to do this you need a lot of materials, and most of them are lost when you craft, but don't worry because the Stonecutter solves all of that and you'll save a lot of materials. And to make it clear, let me give you this simple example with a crafting table. With 64 blocks we can make 44 stairs. Okay, that's not bad, but what if I told you that with the Stonecutter with 64 blocks we can make all 64 stairs without any problem, saving us 20 stairs. We probably would have lost them if we made them on the crafting table. Plus, it works with any blocks, so you can finally build the mansion you deserve. We all have at some point, surely. We've all wanted to make our base much safer and prevent enemies from spawning so we don't end up dead. We just want to feel much safer in our base. And if you don't want your area to look this horrible or like this, I recommend that from now on you start using those instead, since they're much easier to get and look better aesthetically. We can reinforce them with water, so that in case for some reason a creeper gets into our base and tries to explode, it can't destroy anything, because if you didn't know, a creeper can't blow up a water block. And that's how simple it is to make our base much safer while saving a lot of materials. As everyone already knows, the water bucket clutch is the best mechanic in all of Minecraft, since it can save our lives in many ways. But unfortunately, we can't use it in the Nether. And I've died many times because of this, so when I discovered powdered snow, I started using it. Much more than the water bucket, since they might seem the same, but powdered snow is much better, because if powdered snow can do the same thing as a water bucket, powdered snow is superior. Since you can use it in the Nether to save your life, the only bad thing, so to speak, is that once you use it in the Nether to save yourself, it will be lost and you'll have to go get a new one. But honestly, I would rather have to go get another powdered snow bucket than go to the Nether to retrieve my stuff because I died from burning. When we create a new world, the main thing we need to look for besides coal is food, and the best one when we start a new world. Without a doubt, it's dried kelp, and we might think it's useless, but let me tell you that you're very wrong, because yes, I know it doesn't fill much hunger, but when you're just starting a world, it's not bad at all. But what really matters to us is the dried kelp block, since it can cook more than 20 items. Basically, that's double what coal can do, and dried kelp is much easier to get than coal. Also, with some creativity, you can find many more uses for it than you might expect. If you're a more experienced player, you know villages are the best way to advance in a world, and what if you're right? But there are two that are very important and that everyone avoids because they're focused on getting villagers, fletchers, and librarians, and basically they're the clerics and the blacksmiths. The cleric villager is very useful for two things. Number 1, trading gold for emeralds, and number 2, emeralds for ender pearls and even experience bottles. In fact, what about the blacksmith villager? Could he sell you a diamond armor without having to go mining? And you can find them very cheap and with very good enchantments, allowing you to get overpowered without ever having to go mining. The toughest part of starting a new world is entering the Nether for the first time, since you fear dying and losing everything. But let me tell you that there's an easy and quick way to get fire resistance potions, and that's with the piglins. And basically all we have to do is give them some gold, and the chance that they'll drop these potions is actually very high. And that's not all, because if you're lucky, you could get extra things to save your life, like ender pearls or better pieces of armor than what you already have. That's it. Now you can travel the Nether more calmly, knowing you won't burn to death. Just don't get overconfident. Surely we can all agree that the most satisfying thing in the world is, without a doubt, when we find diamonds. But sometimes the search can get a little complicated since we don't find many or we're in a bad mine. So all you have to do is go specifically down to layer -52. And once you're on that layer, all you have to do is make a 1x1 tunnel. Since that's where you're most likely to find diamonds, many people don't realize you can also find natural caves much more often on this layer. And to give you more peace of mind, let me tell you that the odds of running straight into lava are very low. But what if you're so unlucky that you can't find any diamonds? What I'm going to recommend is that you set aside your heterosexuality and just install an X-ray mod, and that's it. That way you'll be able to find diamonds much more easily. But anyway, that's all for today. If you want me to keep uploading more videos like this, give it a like and subscribe, and follow me on all my social media and join my Discord. I don't think I'm forgetting anything, so I hope you enjoyed it, and now goodbye.